Duane Allman, of course, came into Muscle Shoals and wanted a gig. So he put up his pup tent on my parking lot at the studio, and finally I gave him his shot.
When Duane showed up, he was probably one of the first guys with long hair and kind of a hippie look. But what really made him stand out was he was a wonderful guitar player.
I had never heard a slide guitar played like Duane Allman could play it.
Duane had been in Los Angeles, had a group called the Hourglass with his brother Greg.
They signed us on this big contract, and they wouldn't let us play anywhere. I think the first year we were there, we played like 3 concerts. So he finally said, "Hey, I've had it with this place. I'm leaving." And he wound up in Muscle Shoals. But right before he left, I talked him into going horseback riding with me because we weren't doing anything. Finally went out there and I said, "Listen, when we go from the barn out to the field, we got to cross a paved road." I said, "The horse is shod." It's what? It's got shoes on, you know? "And if he slips, he'll bust both of his butts. So don't give him any reins." And guess what happened? And he hit right here. He couldn't play. And he wouldn't let me in his house for about 6 weeks. And I mean, that was terrible because, I mean, you know, growing up without a father, he was somewhat of a father figure to me, even though he was only a year and 18 days older. So it came his birthday, November the 20th, and I went out and bought the first Taj Mahal record and a bottle of Coricidin pills. He had his cold, and he had his arm in a sling. He was pissed off at the world, and I did what I could do. I put it down in front of his door, had it wrapped up and everything, and I knocked on the door and ran. I guess about 2.5 hours later, my phone rings and it's him. He says, "Get over here, Babe Ruth, quick." And Babe Ruth, he called me that baby brother, endearing handle he had for me. He said, "Man, check this out." He'd been listening to Jesse Ed Davis play for Taj Mahal, and he was playing slide. He said, "Man, I dumped out all them pills, and I washed the label off the bottle." He said, "Check this out." He's got his hand still in the sling, he's going, you know, and he's just already killing it, you know. I've still got that bottle, by the way, somehow.
When Duane came here, he was on the Wilson Pickett session that we did.
There was always a slight problem when we would go out, all of us white boys, with a black artist, that we'd get looks, okay? But there was nothing as bad as going out with a long-haired hippie with us white boys. They couldn't stand that, right? And so both of them stayed back.
So they went on lunch break, and my brother went up to Wilson, and he said, "Man, why don't you cut Hey Jude, you know, Beatles song?"
At that point, I was mostly trying to create an original career Wilson Pickett, right? My songs.
Pickett and I in unison both said, "Look, are you crazy? We're going to cover the Beatles?" And of course, Duane said, "Exactly."
While we were gone, Duane changed their whole session.
Just remember to let out your skin.
When you get to the vamp, it goes into just an unbelievable groove. Duane Allman was playing such great guitar fills that something happens in that vamp. And all of a sudden, there was Southern rock. That was the beginnings of the Allman Brother Band.
J-Mo met my brother first. The two of them got together.
When I met Duane, he had a cabin he lived in down on the river in Muscle Shoals. and it was like it was a nice place down there.
In his spare time, he would do a lot of fishing. Muscle Shoals seemed to be the place for him to be at that time.
He would do sessions. I would sit over there and practice. When he would get through the session, he'd roll his amplifier over there, and the two of us would play. And then when Barry Oakley came down, boy, the three of us, I had never played music like that. But that was pretty much the base of what turned out to be the Allman Brothers Band.
Dwayne said, well, Rick, this is the kind of music that's coming in. It's going to be big again. The kids are really liking this stuff. And I said, yeah. Don't breathe on me, Dwayne. Back off. I never believed him, and I told Phil Walden, I don't understand this. They're sleeping in the studio all day under quilts and things. And I wake up Dwayne, and he says, man, you know, the stars and the moon are not quite lined up right. I'm not into all that. He said, well, hang in there, man. Turn on the machines and let them run. And eventually you're going to make $1 billion. I said, I can't do that. It's not me. So I missed the boat on that one.